As we head toward Trump's second swearing in, the question I'm getting is, could whoever swears in Trump be in violation of their oath of office by violating the Constitution, in that they will be swearing in somebody who is an avowed insurrectionist, somebody who is an adjudicated insurrectionist? And the Constitution clearly states that nobody who has engaged in insurrection or given aid or comfort to those who've engaged in insurrection can take the oath of office. And so,
first of all, the 14th Amendment, Section 3 says, anybody who takes an oath of allegiance to the Constitution, support and defend the Constitution of the United States, Donald Trump did as president, who thereafter engages in insurrection or gives aid and comfort to an insurrection or insurrectionists, is disqualified, may not hold office, federal, state, or local, period, unless Congress votes. And the House would have to vote to remove the disability, to restore someone's eligibility to hold office by two-thirds vote, and the Senate would have to vote to remove the disability by a two-thirds vote. So this thought experiment leads to the logical conclusion, Brian, and I'm basing it on the express language of the 14th Amendment, that if somebody engaged in insurrection and after taking an oath to support and defend the Constitution, and Congress has not voted to remove that disqualification, that person cannot be sworn in.
Hey guys, it's Talks with Kenny here today, and I got kind of a response video, aka reaction video as well, to kind of disseminate here. So recently I did a reaction video with Tim Pool cooking Luke Beasley because I got all these negative comments. I don't know if some liberal channel gave a mat out, like all these people. I don't know. It seemed coordinated to me, right? Because I never seen so many people comment on my comment section at the same time before. So I think it's all coordinated mass campaign, negative comment campaign, but I don't care. I got a lot of people who disagreed with my framing of the video. And I looked at it, you know, some call me ignorant, they call me arrogant, they call me all these names. And I saw people who were asking questions. What made you believe that Luke Beasley cooked, like essentially defeated Tim Pool in the debate? No one can give me an answer. I even asked these people who doubted me, who are my detractors, who's calling me an idiot, all this stuff. Great way, leftists always like to insult people. And I grew around these people all my life, bro. Look, I'm black. I come from a community that's 77% liberal Democrat. So I know how they run already. And all I ask is, what are you basing your narrative on? And you saw from the intro, all these people came out and say Donald Trump is this. Donald Trump is a part of an insurrection. He can't be president. You realize, Democrats, you tried this argument for the ballot case, right? You do realize that. Y'all try to remove Donald Trump off the ballot because of this case. And it was removed because Donald Trump was never convicted of an insurrection. Even people who are in January 6th wasn't charged for insurrection. They were charged for trespassing. They were charged for assault on an officer. Those were the charges of people on January 6th. This is why I equated January 6th to a riot, to BLM, to Chaz. And people will say, I have no insight. I'm ignorant. I don't know the facts. When you only believe one-sided narratives. Here's a website I like to use. Don't be fooled by media bias and misinformation, allsides.com. And they do a whole lineup of the center, the left, and the right. So I get all perspectives from this channel. So we're going to talk about it. Because FBI director Christopher Wray resigned before Trump took office, from the left, from the center, from the right. And my question is, I'm speculating here, why is that? Because in my view, and it goes back to my premise of the video and why I believe Tim was the better between Luke Beasley, because Luke Beasley looked like the arrogant, the ignorant, the dumb one, the one with zero understanding of the conversation. And this is what I like about the left. When they come in your comment section and they disagree with you, they can't tell you why they disagree with you. Instead, all they want to do is sit back and criticize what you said, but they don't want to bring any substance to the conversation themselves. And this is my problem with the left. They talking about, oh, Kenny, you're spinning this. I'm tired of right-wing accounts trying to spin that Tim won. No one's spinning nothing. Tim did win. How does someone win when they can't defend a single assertion they make? Every statement they make, they couldn't back it up with anything of real, objectivity. It's always based on their imagination and framing. And I made the argument, hey, everything that Luke Beasley is doing, he's using an appeal to authority, which is a logical fallacy. None of the doubters, none of the detractors in my comment section was able to dispute that. But here they are. I highlight here, and this is a perspective blog. This is from various angles. I talk about how Tucker Carlson had footage that was never released to the public about January 6th. And I mentioned how January 6th, the committee, they let out selectively edited clips to make the rioters look more violent and more numerous than actually what they were. Many of those rioters said that, hey, there was FBI informants, agents in there. Turns out 25 people affiliated with the FBI was in the crowd. So this all goes back to my point here, is that the left only believes in narratives, right? And this is the narrative they try to create in my comment section. Oh, Kenny, you're an idiot. Tim cooked your brain. No. I think Luke Beasley cooked a lot of you guys' brain, because how the hell a guy win when he doesn't even know why he believes the things he believes? And when asked questions about it, just like Luke Beasley, these people could not answer a single question. All they came back with was insults. They try to pretend that they're smarter than you, but they can't inform you of nothing. You ask, okay, what you're referencing, they can't even give you references. They can't even find the thing that Tim Pool had a struggle finding. And because Tim Pool couldn't find it, they make fun of, some journalist Tim Pool is, he had to Google his information. Where are you getting your information then? Can't answer the question. But you know for sure that I'm ignorant, that I have zero understanding of January 6th. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. And as you've seen, Democrats are trying to make this campaign to block Donald Trump, and it's not going to work. You already lost this case, but they keep trying. I don't understand why, but they keep trying. Here's James Raskins. He's going to mention about politicize the DOJ, and this is the irony that I'm talking about. They want to talk about that right-wingers spin stuff. This is the accusation many people make about me, that, oh, you're spinning stuff for the right wing. And I'm like, it's not spinning nothing. It's a different perception of what is happening. You allow Joe Biden to sick the DOJ on Donald Trump to raid his house in Mar-a-Lago when this was never, like, when this could have been done another way. Why you allow your FBI, DOJ to raid a foreign president's home? This has never been happened. This never happened in U.S. history. It's unprecedented. Biden started that. Biden did that. The first president to be convicted. Biden's DOJ did that. Where did Trump get convicted at? At a county that was damn near 90%, a location where 90% were Democratic voters. You don't think that was biased against him? Trump tried numerous times to get himself in a more balanced district so he can have a fair trial. You call that a fair trial? Oh, Trump's a convicted felon. But he didn't have a fair trial. He's a political government official. You expect half the country to not like a candidate. But if you want to prosecute a candidate in a county that's 90% part of a party that's his rival party, you think that person's going to get a fair trial? That's a hell no. Political bias comes to play. That will throw out 90% of the jury. So why not move the prosecution in a different county where it's more balanced? The judge didn't want to shoot. The judge shot it down. The judge that was overseeing his trial has a daughter that's fundraising over the fact that her uncle or her father is prosecuting Trump. That's not a conflict of interest. Trump's legal team told him to recuse himself. Everything the left put their hat on, it's nothing more than a superficial show. And this is what I'm talking about. This is why I say I have a lack of trust in our government, especially when it's run by Democrats. Now, if let's say Trump gets in, he investigates, and he finds out everything was fair play, then I have to fall back and believe they were doing it fairly. But when I find out that Liz Cheney could be investigated for witness tampering, Kathy Griffin, I forgot her name, Farrah Griffin from The View was her liaison, her in-between communications to tamper with the witness. You don't think that's suspicious? And this is what I'm talking about. You leftists, you hold your hand on, you're hanging your hats, you're hanging your whole worldview on what these people say, but these things are not based on anything in reality. It's just based on a perception. The shaman, the January 6th shaman, the guy said they were withholding evidence that he could use to show he was innocent, that he didn't disrupt, he didn't destroy any property, he wasn't trespassing because he was led into the Capitol by the police. Y'all want to conveniently ignore that. There's too many holes in your little framing to blindly believe what the government tells you to believe. And this is the problem with the left. The left is mad at me because I don't come to the same conclusion as them. Therefore, they want to slander, call you names, and I ain't going to stop. I'm going to let my voice be heard because y'all only make me go harder. Y'all only add more fuel to my fire because I understand you guys don't know nothing. And then y'all project what you don't know onto me. I believe what I believe for a reason. And I take the same assumption with you guys. When people disagree with me, I assume You disagree with me for a reason, and I try to find that reason. But when you don't give me the reason, I write you off as dishonest. When you just insult me, I write you off as dishonest. And this is the problem with the left. This is why the left can't. This is why the left don't know how to talk to people who are not leftists like themselves. But hey, I digress. I think I went on a little tangent there. But I want to show you the clip with James Ranskins, and then I'll highlight more of the contradictions between the left and the right. Let's take a look.
He, seems to want to treat the Department of Justice as a mere adjunct under the unitary executive theory of his own presidency. So we are going to try to defend the principle of the independent integrity of the law enforcement function under the Department of Justice. And we will resist and oppose any efforts to politicize the department so that it goes after the president's enemies in the current parlance or goes easy on his friends. That is simply not how the rule of law works. And it directly undercuts more than 2 centuries of understanding of how the United States government works. But we are going to be standing very strong for the idea of the rule of law being something that is not subordinate to partisanship or the President of the United States, whose job under Article 2 of the Constitution is to take care that the laws are faithfully executed. So that's the opposite of the president being able to choose winners and losers in the justice process. The president's job is to take care that the laws are faithfully executed. And that, of course, is the defining mission of the Department of Justice.
And it's so funny how they don't want the DOJ to be politicized now that they lost power. And the Democrats have a habit of doing this. If you just look at historical evidence, the Democrats always have a thing where they do something unprecedented. They start a new precedent, and they are scared the Republicans will adopt that same precedent. You let Joe Biden run the DOJ however he saw fit, James Raskins, that now Trump's in power, you're scared he's going to do the same thing that Joe Biden's doing? Make it make sense. You have a problem with Donald Trump looking in a case-by-case basis of pardoning the January 6ers, but you're not mad that Democrats bailed out BLM, Chaz, all these people who firebombed police stations. And this is the problem. This was the whole conversation between Tim Pool and what Luke Beasley was talking about. That Luke Beasley believes in a narrative portrayed to him by mainstream media, and it's a fact that majority of Democrats are more trusting of the mainstream media. Non-Democrats are less trusting of the mainstream media. So y'all just believe whatever the mainstream media tells y'all. But you get mad that I don't go along with your narrative. No. Y'all can't get mad because I don't agree with you. Clarify where you're coming from. Show some evidence. Show some proof. What are you staking your belief on? That's what I want to know. Instead, y'all moving the goalposts. Somehow you do what Luke Beasley do. Oh, you. No, you. Oh, what do you think? No, I'm asking what you think. No, what do you think? Luke Beasley cooked Tim Pool. What you talking about, Kenny? What? Only a tribalist will believe that. Only a liberal tribalist will believe that Luke Beasley won that debate, that discussion. And just because Tim Pool couldn't find the evidence that he was trying to reference, like, make it make sense. Y'all lambasting in my comment section, y'all lambasting Tim Pool for not being able to find his references when it's supposed to be him who's showing Tim Pool where his references are. And this is how dumb the left is sometimes. This is what I'm used to when I'm growing up in the black community, when black leftists here trying to talk to me and try to get me to believe a certain narrative. And this is why I say, whenever I see a leftist, I always think they're trying to deceive me. Sorry, that bias will never go away. I admit it. Right. And the problem with leftists is, and I think this is where I'll destroy many of these people's framing, is that they pretend that, oh, right wingers are spinning jobs, all this stuff, whatever accusation you make of the right, you do it yourself. And my argument's always been that the right is more honest about it than the left. The left will give you information and pretend that it's objective. The right will acknowledge, hey, I can have some bias when I present you this information. Do your own research and still present the information, but they give references of why they believe what they believe. And this is the difference between the left. And how can I trust a committee, right? This is Jay McCosta when he asked about Liz Cheney facing a possible investigation, right? Because we're all about justice here, right? Jim was not happy. If she broke the law that would she be exempt? If she altered evidence, if she withheld evidence, and then she broke the law. This is the accusation made about Liz Cheney and many people in the January 6th committee. This is why many Democrats are asking Joe Biden to preemptively pardon a lot of these people. Adam Schiff, Liz Cheney. Because to me, how I view the January 6th stuff, I saw it as the first step in politicized lawfare. And then it escalated on Trump himself on a false narrative about an insurrection when none of the January 6ers was charged with insurrection. They were charged for trespassing, assault on officers. This is why I say, hey, I agree with Tim that January 6ers on a case-by-case basis should be pardoned. 3 years is enough time for assaulting a police officer. Pardon them. Luke Beasley comes in and try to make an argument that he should not do that. Couldn't defend his argument. But Luke Beasley cooked. Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, okay. Make sense. A guy that 90% of the clip could not defend his position, but he cooked. Make it make sense. But this is the left for you. All they care about is narratives, not the truth. It makes perfect sense, right? You can't block Donald Trump. Donald Trump won the election fair and square. He wasn't charged with insurrection. Therefore, you can't say he's an insurrectionist because he was never charged for insurrection. He may have been prosecuted for that. He may have been investigated for that. He may be impeached for that, but it wasn't. He wasn't convicted of it. So how you can label someone a murderer if they wasn't ever convicted of murder? Oh, he was investigated for murder, but did he commit the murder? Do you have enough proof for it that he did the murder? No. So why are you trying to give him punishment for something that you could not prove without a shadow of doubt that he participated in that? And this is the problem with the left. They want to make all these theories, right? And they want to call us a conspiracy theory. You saw the intro. You can block Trump from taking the oath of office because he's an insurrectionist. Wrong. False. Trump is not an insurrectionist. Trump was never convicted of insurrection. He was never impeached for insurrection. The people that you're saying he led to take over the Capitol, they weren't charged with no insurrection. Yeah, y'all talking out both sides of your mouth. The insurrection thing is nothing more than a framing, trying to control your perception to view something as an insurrection so they can do something illegal, which is what they're trying to do now. But I digress. I think I talked enough about it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate you guys watching to the end of the video, and I hope y'all guys had a happy Merry Christmas. I hope you guys got to spend time with your family, got to relax, got a chance to move away from all this crazy stuff. I know I did. I was offline for like the entire week, and a lot of stuff is happening, and I hope to cover more of it throughout the day. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.